I can't believe it's the middle of July already. Welcome. It's Sunday night, and let's take a look at the week that was and what's next. This is a good one. I got to tell you. As I've said many times, I've always wanted to get bullish, and the first part of it is happening. Well, last week, you saw it. Bunch of countries didn't raise their interest rates. CPI came down. Looks like inflation is, cured. Well, it's not, but it is providing an inflection point for something I've looked forward to. Now, granted, the UK still has some problems, and their rates are probably going to go higher, and that's reflected in the value of their currency. The pound is at yearly highs. Japan, well, finally, I think rates might be going higher there, and as I said, on my fourth try, I'm doing quite well on my yen trade. I'm up 4+ points, having lost a point total in the other three. I'm pretty happy, and currencies have a tendency to trend, so I'm going to be in this trade for a while. Eventually, even the Fed might tell you, we're going to have a recession. And when that recession hits, it's probably going to happen during a very politically motivated time, the presidential elections. And that's something to be wary of, because even though the Fed might tick up another quarter and maybe another quarter later in the year, all things considered, the market is telling you it's over. That's it. They did their job. Well, I'm hopefully believing that that's the case. But what that sets me up for is today's recommendation. And I don't recommend a whole lot that I think everybody should take a look at, but this is one of them. When you get people in the industry that you respect that sit back and they're all saying the same thing, listen. I worked for Hutton for years. Their slogan was, when E.F. Hutton talked, people listen. They're pretty good. And it made a lot of sense. Out in the marketplace today, out of J.P. Morgan, is probably one of the best bond traders I've ever followed. His name's Bob Michel. Sharp, good long term. Not doing as well this year as in years past, but he usually ends up in the top 5% of all traders. He put it out there. It's time to buy bonds. He's right. This morning I woke up, Bloomberg had an article out that basically was the same thing. We're at that inflection point. The inverted yield curve, it's about to become normal, whatever that may be. But that means that the long bonds, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, they're going to go higher in price because the rate of interest they have to pay is going to come down. That's a good thing. Now, how do you participate in it? Well, I usually use ETFs, and I stick with the biggest, largest, best managed ETFs that are out there. In this case, they're run by BlackRock. They're iShares. The symbol on one is GOVT. And as we may expect, that's a U.S. Treasury bond government fund. The other is TLT, slightly shorter in maturities, 20+ year Treasury bonds. Buy them. All right? Go to Robinhood, go to Thinkorswim, go to wherever you hold an account. Punch in the symbols. Chances are what you're going to see happen over the next extended period. This is not a day trade. This is one you're going to hold for a year or 2 years. You're going to see that when you buy it, you're locking in a quote-unquote interest rate. There's safety involved. Your principal's not going to go away. And chances are, as interest rates come down, the inverse happens to instruments of this nature. They rise in price. So you're going to get some capital appreciation. That's it. Take a look. Read the article. Gives you the full thought pattern that's been going on. And quite frankly, I've been waiting for this. I've been looking forward. I've done very well in the bond markets over time, especially as interest rates from higher levels tumble down. And chances are that's going to happen. While you're at it, click on bar chart. Take a look. Doesn't cost you anything. It's a source I've used for years. It works. Give it a chance. While you're at it, click on Bloomberg too. I think they got a deal out there now for $1.99 or something or other a month. It's well worthwhile. They are the quintessential source of information in today's world. I rely upon them. Hey, maybe you should too. But again, thanks for joining us. Going to get back to the pool. I hope you have a good week.